Good morning, everyone. Look at this. Do you know what this means? Do you know what this means? Do you know what this is? This is Spaceship Earth here at Epcot Center, and this means that we're in Florida, and this means that this is the Sometimes Vlog. It's a vlog that happens sometimes, and sometimes it happens here, apparently, in Florida at Walt Disney World. Behind me is this giant ball. This giant ball that my whole life teased me from afar. I grew up in Southern California, in Anaheim, California, with Disneyland. And in 1982, this place, Epcot Center as it was known then, opened up. It was the new Disney theme park. It was heralded all over the place. There was all kinds of 80s and 90s TV show specials. So-and-so goes to Disney World, all showing this. And all the propaganda at the time showed this. It said Epcot, Epcot, Epcot. We just knew it as the Epcot Ball because obviously I never visited Epcot, but it's actually called Spaceship Earth. And it is the crown jewel, some people would say, of Epcot. Inside of it is actually a really cool attraction. I had no idea what was inside of this thing growing up in Anaheim, growing up around Disneyland. What we all actually thought is that the whole Epcot theme park was located inside of this ball. That might sound ridiculous to some of you who grew up going to Epcot, but to us in Anaheim, that's what we thought. The reason is because all those Walt Disney pictures and different things, all the different commercials and propaganda would show they would show cruising over this flat landscape. They would show Spaceship Earth, and then they would show cruising over to the Magic Kingdom. You know what I'm talking about? All those little animated things. And so you just thought, oh, Epcot is this ball. It must all be inside this ball. Some of you will say, well, what about World Showcase? We always thought that was in Magic Kingdom. So I grew up with a totally weird perception of how Epcot was. I came here about 5 years ago for the first time. I was only here for 3 or 4 hours maximum, and saw a couple of attractions, including riding on Spaceship Earth. So let's go underneath. Look at this. This by itself is just crazy. If you're from Southern California, it's crazy. So here's the entrance to Epcot. There's all these crazy things where people have their pictures etched on them, and then look, a little gift shop here, a little camera center here. There's this entryway, and bam, underneath this massive, what is it, like a buckyball? Some people call them buckyballs because of the architect Buckminster Fuller. Look at that. Underneath Spaceship Earth. Originally, Epcot, the reason Epcot Center is Epcot was the experimental prototype community of tomorrow. Walt Disney wanted to build a whole futuristic city, and at the center would be a giant round bubble like this that people would live in and do things. Spaceship Earth. Super cool. Epcot Center would be the center of Epcot. Didn't really work out that way, so now it's just called Epcot. Anyway, 5 years ago, I finally got to visit it and enjoy it and get really excited about it. And I'm back at Epcot Center with the person I came with 5 years ago who introduced me to the awesomeness and corrected all of my misconceptions about Epcot. As he would put it, the self-proclaimed Epcot aficionado, Adam the Woo? From YouTube? Spaceship Earth. You're finally back after 3 years in your favorite Disney theme park looking at Spaceship Earth.
Spaceship Earth.
It's blown your mind.
I had my hat on normally, my glasses were on
normally. And then your mind was blown.
And then there was an earthquake of goodness. And it shifted everything I was wearing.
Look at this, everybody. Spaceship Earth. I was telling them about how we used to think the whole theme park was inside the ball because they never showed any other pieces.
A lot of people said they had shared your opinion as well because all the promotion material was always focused on what everyone called the Epcot Ball.
The Epcot Ball.
But basically Spaceship Earth, which is awesome. This is probably now currently, not old school Epcot, but new school Epcot, which this is an old school ride. This is probably my favorite ride in the park.
It's super awesome. It's like a mix of Carousel of Progress and the Haunted Mansion or something.
It's basically the sequel to Carousel of Progress, some would say. Some would say it's the sequel.
It's amazing. It talks all about the future. And if there's one thing I love more than the future, it's the history of the future.
The future.
The future.
I gotta check this out, Doc.
I gotta check this out, Doc. So there it is. Look at It's so ginormous. Not as ginormous as I thought it was going to be, containing an entire theme park. When I first came here, I was like, oh, it's not that big.
That's not right
but
here.
I didn't know what was in it. I had no idea. And it's Spaceship Earth. Maybe later I'll be able to get some clips of Spaceship Earth or video footage of Spaceship Earth and upload it. I don't know. I have no idea what's in store today. All I know is that Adam is filming his return to Epcot, doing a little Adam the Woo filming. And I'm just along for the ride. I didn't even bring my main camera because I'm so unfamiliar with Epcot. We were only here for 3 hours last time. We rode Nemo, we rode Spaceship Earth, we rode Maelstrom, which is gone. That was the old Norway ride in the countries.
That's a bummer.
And we rode the Mexico ride.
I was not here for the last ride of Maelstrom.
Yeah. Maelstrom was the weirdest,
but we
coolest
can at
ride
least see the Norway pavilion.
Yeah. We'll see some country. So how is Epcot actually laid out? I was meant to go the other way so that we could show you a map. But how it's actually laid out.
Two theme parks in one. It's basically, well, not two theme parks in one, but two areas in one. You got the main area here. You can venture to the right, over past Innoventions.
Look at this.
Over to the left, that way.
So,
or you can go out into the countries.
So on either side of us are two giant pavilions, which are now both Innoventions. They used to be called Communicore, is that correct?
Right.
And then beyond those are, on the sides, are even more giantish. Oh no, these are the Communicore pavilions right here. Bam. And then behind them, to the left and to the right, are huge pavilions that
used to be different rides.
They're themed around like different areas of technology, right? Like
technology,
motion, the land, the seas, how to take care of the future.
Stuff over here to the right.
Basically like a giant Tomorrowland, right?
Sea stuff and the land and all that's over here to the right.
So all beyond these buildings, these Communicore buildings that are now Innoventions, and then
this like weird little makeshift hub, a futuristic hub. And you venture off towards the land.
And then can we see is it hard to see what's beyond that? Can we show?
No, not really. It's kind of, to get to the countries, there's basically a waterway. And you got to go around the circle, like a big circle around the water.
So there's basically two theme parks. There's this, Epcot, a whole...
Two different theming.
Two different giant areas. One is like all the future and crazy. And then beyond this is a huge lake with all those different countries. When I was growing up and they'd show like, you know, the Muppets go to Disney World or Full House goes to Disney World or whatever, it always made it seem like those countries were in the Magic Kingdom.
It always made it seem like it was just Walt Disney World. They never said Magic Kingdom.
It was all Walt Disney World, Walt Disney World. The only time I heard about Epcot specifically is when they showed that ball. That's why I thought, there's some other theme park in that ball, but the countries are here in Epcot and they're actually called, what, the World Showcase?
World Showcase.
Anyway, I'm not all that familiar with it. So those of you who are super familiar with Epcot are going, but I have no idea what I'm looking at. So I'm very excited.
That's probably for the first time
they've never been here either, really. So I've barely ever been here.
We gotta get some fast passes.
I really don't know what I'm looking at. Yeah. Here's another thing for those of you who've never been to Walt Disney World, and Adam's learning this too because they didn't exist last time he was here. All the fast passes are on these. You can stick them on your ticket, I think, or your annual pass. Or these magic bands. They scan these instead of your ticket, instead of your annual pass. You come in here, you go to a kiosk, you choose 3 rides, and they will apply 3 rides at 3 times to your fast pass on your magic band. Look at, I got Steamboat Willie.
And I have the castle.
And you've got the castle, Cinderella's castle. Yep. And then once you use them up, you can go get more or whatever, but they're on your wristband. That way there's no more paper.
You don't have to dig in your wallet and all that stuff.
It's a lot of stuff. See, I'm just figuring out.
Getting used to the whole thing.
Yeah, I am just getting used to that and the layout of these places. That's why this trip is pretty much just reconnaissance.
The lines are getting pretty long. 75 minutes for test tracks.
Woo! So
we definitely need to get that.
It's time for us to start cooking. It's a little short vlog.
It's time to step up the game and get in the line and get these fast passes dialed.
Pretty sure you'll see more of me later today.
And probably me too.
Subscribe, go over to Adam the Woo, The Daily Woo. What? YouTube, on YouTube, youtube.com/The Daily Woo.
Oh, yeah, my YouTube channel where I do a different vlog every day.
Every single day.
And I have a main channel, but don't go on the main channel today because, well, you could go on the main channel today, but currently I just uploaded a vlog out front as well here from
also
YouTube/The Daily Woo.
Instagram, Adam the Woo.
Adam the Woo on Instagram and Twitter.
Yes.
And
for me, Justin Scarlett on Twitter and Periscope, and over on Instagram and Snapchat, Live Fast, Die Poor.
Snapchat guy.
Subscribe, follow, do whatever you need to do. I love you all. See you in a little bit. Goodbye. Ooh.